Connor is the enemy. Aaron is the Mongol. Nick is the narrator.
Mongolian Empire was one of the largest and most powerful empires in history. One may wonder how they conquered this much land, and the answers lie in the battle tactics they use, more specifically riding on horseback into battle.
Riding on horseback scares and intimidates my enemies, allowing me to also move quickly and efficiently. It may also scare other tribes near me, allowing for us to have them surrender without even fighting them.
I'm the enemy, and when I see Mongols riding on horses to attack my village, not only does that intimidate my village and me, it also scares some of the women and children of the village. That is why sometimes other villages surrender just to try and be able to have a chance to live. The Mongol Empire was the largest at its time, reaching up to 110 million people, which was 25% of the population of their time, which was the 1200 and 1300s. They covered more than 16% of the Earth's landmass, which was also 9.15 million square miles of land. I surrender.
The most important weapon in the Mongolian Empire was the bow and arrow, which allowed Mongols to fight at extreme range. Mongolian warriors were also used bows on horseback, shooting with extreme accuracy. Mongols were also trained to be able to look and shoot backwards on horseback.
The weapon to attack with is the bow and arrow. We are trained at a young age to shoot with extreme precision and accuracy. We almost never miss our shots.
We are getting shot. It is hard to dodge the arrows, and sometimes hard to see them when we are focusing on the opponents. One of the ways the Mongol arrows were better than the European arrows were that they were shorter, so it was easier to flow in the wind. Another reason it went faster and further was because of riding on horseback at 25 to 35 miles per hour normally gave you speed for the Mongol and their arrow. Now, onto the bow. This is one of the designs of the Mongol bow. The specific design they used also helped with their amazing accuracy. Some of the old Mongolian bows weighed 80 to 150 pounds. Imagine carrying that and shooting it while riding a horse. The length when the bow was unstringed was 144.5 centimeters. When it was strung, it was 136 centimeters. The average brace height of a Mongol bow was 14 centimeters.
As you can see, the Mongol just used his bow and arrow to kill one of his enemies. This is one of the many ways that the Mongols take out their enemy. The only used weapon on horseback is a Mongol saber. This was extremely lightweight and easy to wield while on horseback, considering it only took up one hand to hold. Considering this, the Mongol is able to ride their horse with their other hand, making it extremely deadly to their enemy because of how they can ride their horse and use their saber at the same time.
I use the saber when I'm close up. It is really light and easy for me to attack others because it's an easy wielding weapon. It also allows me to have one saber attacking the enemy and my other hand onto the horse to secure me so I don't fall off. It may be lightweight, but it does scare the enemy and does its job.
Sabers are very deadly because of how fast the Mongols can swing them while on their horses. It frightens me how easily they can slice my head off while on the horse coming up at 55 miles per hour. The saber was one of the most lightest weapons, maybe even the lightest weapon they used in combat. It was only 2.75 pounds. They could decapitate and scalp their enemies easily with the saber, and was also easy for them to bring around. The saber also had a curved shape to it, being 48.5 inches long.
As you can see how easily it was to kill the Mongols' enemy. And this is one of the most cruel ways that the Mongol killed their enemy, because they would decapitate them. and scalp them after their death. The Mongolian saddle was one of the most important things that the Mongols used while fighting. The saddle would allow the Mongols to be able to ride their horses with ease. In fact, it was very hard for them to ride without it. The saddle was able to support the warrior while shooting behind them. And if you did not have a saddle, you would easily be thrown off by your horse, possibly leading to your demise.
My saddle allows me to stay on my horse easier than without it, and it also easily allows me to use my weapons while on my horse.
I don't have a saddle, so it is much harder for me to stay on, and let alone battle on my horse. The Mongols have a great advantage over me because of fighting on horseback with a saddle. Most of the time, we don't even go on horseback during our fights. The saddle will not only make it easier to ride, but also we're able to put things on the side like your saber. Their saddles had special designs to make sure that they didn't fall forwards or backwards. The small size of the saddle fit well on the Mongol horses. As you can see, the Mongol was able to stay on his horse and attack his enemy. This was because the Mongols had the saddle on the horse and made it stable enough to also fight. Now let's see the enemy try and ride the horse and attack the Mongol. As you can see, without the saddle, it is nearly impossible to stay on the horse. Even if the enemy did stay on his horse, it would be physically impossible for him to fight on the horse. This gave the Mongol the advantage and let the Mongol kill the enemy. To sum up what we learned, because of what the Mongols used and the way they fought on horseback, allowed them not only to defeat their enemy, but to become the best empire of their time. Without these weapons they made, and especially without the strongest suit, which were the horses, the Mongols would have never conquered. It would have never been a thing.